It probably just looks like, oh my God, how could people even eat it? And then other people are like, give me that. I'm ready for it right now and I want more. Hi, my name is Terry, and today I'm going to show you Southern style grits 3 ways. I start my grits with milk. So we're going to start with 1 cup of milk, and I usually get the milk up to about right starting to boil. So as you see, there's a boil going, and so we're just going to add these a little at a time and just be sure you stir. I do 1 to 2 ratio, so I do a ½ cup of grits and we're doing a cup of milk, and you need to be stirring all the time to start the grits. I think I have an emotional attachment to this dish. I grew up in the Deep South. My mom would cook grits every morning for herself, and she only wanted them done one way. She'd put a pat of butter on the top and she's done. I wanted to share this just to show the versatility, that it does not have to be the most simple. And today I'm not going to create the most complex. To me, even though it gets elevated, it doesn't lose its charm. It reminds me of my mom, my family, and childhood. Put just a little bit of salt in there, and as you can see, it's getting creamy, and that's exactly what you want. This has been cooking about 3 to 5 minutes. Some people love it like that, and I know it probably just looks like, oh my God, how could people even eat it? And then other people are like, give me that. I'm ready for it right now, and I want more. So then we're going to add a little bit of butter. We're going to add Gruyere, and we're going to add, I use a little Parmesan, and so we're going to melt that cheese in really well. So now we have cheese grits, and as my mom would do it for her breakfast, this is so complicated, she would have this and a little butter on top. So those are the basic grits. We're going to take the grits that we've already finished, take a bit of butter, and we're going to do a little bit of olive oil, and we'll just melt the butter, and all we're going to do is form a little ball, and then we're going to press them down. And we're just going to do a light brown on each side. That's all there is to it. I remember leaving home when I was 18 in my 1971 Ford Pinto, and I was so ready to get out of this very small town. I moved to Austin, Texas in 1980. Cooking was nothing I set out to do, but I fell into catering. I had a catering service for a couple of synagogues in Austin, a couple of temples. So I had a Jewish clientele, and I did bar and bat mitzvahs for over 37 years. But I think maybe in some way I missed being at home. I kind of longed for that warm spot with food. It's a connection that I never really thought of it in those days, but I know now that having that bowl of grits would connect me to being at home. I think a lot of people in a lot of cultures have that, whether it's a paella or whether it's an enchilada or what, it takes them home. We're going to take now the cake that we made, and we are going to find a spatula first of all. And for a nice little Jewish touch, we're going to just have a little bit of cream cheese, and then we're going to take a little piece of smoked Nowell and do whatever you want to do with it. I like to make a little floret, and then we'll do a few chives on there. That's kind of all it needs. And so that's the finished product, the lox and cream cheese grits cake there. Okay. So this is the 3rd iteration of the grits. We're going to do shrimp and grits. We're just going to take a little bit of Italian parsley, just a rough chop, about a half shallot, garlic, and green onion. Also a little fresh thyme I like to put in there. So now we're ready to assemble. So we're going to start with butter and, of course, a little more olive oil. We're going to season the butter with a little bit of thyme. You can put the stem in, and then we're going to go in with garlic, shallots, parsley, and green onion, and then we're going to put in a few shrimp. This is paprika and a good pinch of cayenne pepper. And we just get a pink on these on both sides. All right, so we're ready to plate up the shrimp and grits. We will take the cheese grits and put them in the ramekins. And then I usually do about 3 shrimp per person. Maybe a little extra green. And then I also put usually a little grated Gruyere on the top. There you have it. Grits 3 ways. We're gonna start with the very simple grits, but I know they're still good. All my mom would need is a little hard fried egg on the side, and she'd be satisfied. Now the cake that we made with cream cheese and nice smoked Nowell take you right back to the bar mitzvah days, I'll tell you that. And I think my favorite of all, the really creamy, cheesy shrimp and grits. That's Southern eating at its best.